Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build video. And today I'm building this pink base game house, or you could call it a pink mission styled house. So the reason why there's suddenly an influx of video, like there was a video yesterday, there's a video today, there'll probably a video be out tomorrow, is because today and tomorrow I'm just feeling like doing smaller builds. I feel the kick of building. I want to build I've actually been building quite a bit, but doing these big massive builds has just not been in my head lately. And what inspired me to do this build is that we got that, I was going to call it an upgrade. We got this update yesterday where we were able to have a lot more swatches within the game. And when I found that out, I thought, you know what, swatches in the base game, best thing to do about it, create a base game build. Now, originally, if you know my channel, I absolutely love two very neutral colors. Doing pinks is completely out of the realm of like how my mind works when it comes to doing things, especially with pink, because it's not that I hate pink, but I'm not the biggest pink lover. If I'm gonna like pink, I'm gonna like a hot pink, and that's on Bratz. I love a hot pink, or I love a really, really pale, like milky, pasty pink, like almost like a rose quartz kind of pink. Because me and my gem colors, I mean, EmeraldStories, come on. I love gem colors. They're my favorite type of like colors ever. So like, yeah, I don't like pink necessarily just because it's not a deep color, like the way I like a deep blue or a deep red or a deep green. So, I was just thinking to myself that I don't really play with these lighter colors, and it's not because I don't like them. Like, I love pastel. Okay. Love is a very strong word. I really do like pastels, like especially mint green. There's something about mint green to me that is just so nostalgic. And then also like, how do I describe this color? It's like a lavender mixed with a blue, with like the middle between lavender and blue, very pale, lavender and blue. It's almost reminiscent of, what do you call it? Fabric softener? Yeah, it's almost reminiscent of fabric stuff. I have no idea why that gives me so much like calm. I think maybe it's because as a child I wanted to drink it. I advise you not to drink it. But but I imagine everyone watching this would never dare to drink fabric softener just because I told them as a child. I used to fantasize about drinking. I used to fantasize about drinking anything colorful. I would not have survived a day in America when I was younger, because my mom used to tell me that I used to walk around stores before I moved to England. So I moved to England when I was 3. So before I was, oh my God, I moved when I was 3. That means I've been here for 20 years. I should tell my parents about that. But anyway, I moved before I was 3, and my mom would tell me all the time that when we were walking through stores when you were younger, you would just constantly look at like soap and stuff and want to buy it and drink it. And now, as I've gotten older, I'm starting to realize that, one, yes, I did look at like bright green liquid and be like, yeah, I want to chug that. But then I also used to look at actual drinks that anyone would drink. Like in Zimbabwe, for example, there's this one drink called cream soda, and it's also bright green. And I'm pretty sure this was in the fridge because there's like flashbacks in my memory. I don't know if I imagined it or if it was real, because the problem is with my mental state is that I do not know if it was a dream or if it was a memory, because I'm just like, my brain is like just always on. And especially when it comes to daydreams and dreaming, they are so incredibly vivid that I do struggle sometimes distinguishing, was that a memory or was that a dream or was that me daydreaming? But I distinctively remember when I was younger that I would look at bright green liquid, and I'm pretty sure it was that cream soda. And I would see it in the store and I would want it, but they would tell me that it's something like in soap or something, or even sometimes I remember when I was young, I really wanted an ice cream and they told me, no, this is for dogs. You don't eat that. Honey, this is for dogs. And now I'm thinking as I'm older that it probably wasn't for dogs. But when I look at when I think to the prices now, because I sometimes see some of the stuff I used to like when I was younger, like the prices, and I'm like, yeah, I totally get why you lied to me. I totally get why you lied to a 3-year-old, because in prices are crazy. I look at some of the things that I wanted when I was younger, and they're like £5 per piece. And I'm like, the way that I would have just stormed through that and probably wanted more, I can totally get it. Also, I'm happy I never got it because it allowed me not to be as addicted to certain types of foods. Like I've only recently come to like chocolate. I hate it. Like I liked chocolate adjacent things. So I liked cakes. I like bread. This looks so cute. Like, okay, here's the thing is that I'm looking at the build. I built this on a 30 by 20. I should have built this on a 20 by 20. I feel like if you are able to move away, actually a 20 by 20 would have been a little bit shorter. The day that we can one day, because also, before I go back into my, you know, my dreams of chugging down washing liquid and stuff like that, in the update we got recently, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping through topics so rapidly and fast, on the update we got recently, when we found out about the different type of swatches we've got in base game items, we also found out that we no longer have a Sims 5. We have a Sims Renee, which is almost like Renaissance. So it's going to be the Sims adjacent, but it's not going to be like a follow-up of the Sims. So it's not like continuing on with the series. They're just going to continue to add things into the Sims 4. Now, I have a variety of thoughts regarding that, purely because the way that they have structured the Sims 4 is, you know, they originally, the incentive of the Sims 4 was that it's not going to be like the Sims 3. It's going to be able to run on any laptop. And what I've noticed in my life is that the Sims 4 actually runs a little bit harsher than the Sims 3. I should have realized that on initial, but again, I was like, what, 12 when the Sims 4 came out, so I wasn't really concentrated on it. I used to run the Sims 4, and it still kind of runs, but I don't use it to play. I use my HP Pavilion to play the Sims 4 at the moment with most of the graphics down. And I've got the light in the mirrors at the most, but the objects one is quite down. But I have, I ran it on my HP Pavilion, but I used to run it on my Lenovo desktop. And this was a desktop to the point that it was just the screen that, like, it was similar to a MacBook. It did not have like an actual computer base. So you couldn't, like, it was more difficult to interchange like graphics cards and stuff like that if you wanted to. But it's not like completely out of background to do it on a Lenovo. But I used to run it on a Lenovo. And I used to play The Sims 3 since I was 10. So bear in mind, I was playing The Sims 3 for 4 years. And then when The Sims 4 came out, I begged my parents, and I used to lie to them and tell them I'm playing The Sims 4 because it cost them £50, which back then my parents were financially stable. They've always been able to provide for me, but it's still £50 moves. I used to ask for things that I used to never actually quite use as much, kind of like sometimes, occasionally. I didn't do that all the time, but there's like, for example, certain dolls and stuff like that I used to ask for, and then I never ended up playing with them because they blinked at me. I swear to you, they blinked at me, and there was no blinking manufacturer in them and stuff like that. So I used to lie to them, was playing The Sims 3, saying, yeah, I'm playing The Sims 4. No, I was playing The Sims 3 because The Sims 4 just would not load on the computer. It was so laggy. And I came back to it in 2016, and I started playing it again between 2016 and 2018, and I was strictly a cast player because, again, building was not working. Nothing was working because the game was just lagging ever so much. And then I fully came back to it during 2020 period. And I realized there's this thing called lowering your graphics, and everything was low to the point that you couldn't see through mirrors, you couldn't see through windows, and the objects were barely rendering. Like, it was the most, like, bear in mind, I have a G shade in my game right now. That was not even a thing that I could do on the Lenovo, let alone like have actual reflections. The first thing I did when I downloaded this on my laptop was make sure the light can come through the windows and cause like dim shadows and everything. And every single time I see that, I always get like a jostle of happiness, because to be able to see light coming through the windows, light shining on the trees and creating these really nice shadows, that is something I could not do in the Lenovo. And then added to now with a G shade, it's only going to go up from here. Like one day when I'm able to have the money to get like a gaming laptop or a gaming desktop, even though I don't know if I'll get a desktop because I would rather get an editing suite because of work and stuff like that. But maybe gaming laptop, I'll be running all of the G shades. I'll be running all of them. But yeah, so it wasn't that functional on my Lenovo. So that was basically the basis of The Sims 4. So, and now with the progression of The Sims 4 and how many kits we're getting, how many packs we're getting, and how much, like how heavy the game is starting to become, it's not running the way that the creators, I would feel like, initially intended. This is so awful. Like, I really want to become an EA creator, like fun, and this is like the worst way to go about it. But to be completely honest, it's not accomplishing its original mission statement. It's not a game that can be run by any laptop. I saw when the announcement of Enjoy came out, a lot of people say, if you want to continue playing simulation games, you need to up your equipment. If you can't keep up with the game, don't complain. And when I heard this initially, I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy to say, because people who can't afford things don't mean they can't enjoy cool things. But especially with like things as heavy as like Enjoy. But like the thing is, so when I saw that, I was like, that's a crazy statement, first of all. But then also I was like, if that is the way that games are progressing, and The Sims said they were counteracting that this was a readily available game, I was like, this is completely contradictory, because that's not what The Sims is anymore. It's not a game that you can just use on any laptop, especially on MacBooks. Don't even get me started in anything Apple. It sounds like a literal fan. It's not adhering to its original mission statement. So the way that the game is going, I would assume. But again, I am 23 and I haven't had as much industry work as I have, especially in the gaming industry. I've actually had only like 2 years of gaming industry work, and it was more for first shooter games than it was for this. Like, it was more esports centered rather than simulation and leisure games. But I would assume that you would get like maybe a Sims. I have completed the video, so short. I have so many more things to say, but I'm going to wrap it up really quick. I know I didn't finish my initial statement about me liking to check down washing liquid, but I'll have another video out tomorrow where I'll continue that. But I'm just going to finish the statement about The Sims 5. I would assume that it would be good to have another installment of Sims 5. I know it can be really like damaging economically for some people, financially, because you have to get like seasons again, you need to get like vampires again, you need to get a lot of aspects of what that makes a core Sims game all over again. But I feel like it has to be made again with distinctive packs so it can be easily run and stick to that mission statement. So that means no kits, no game packs. If you want to have vampires, put those fairies, put those ghosts, put everything in one, in order to not have to constantly have to do so many patch updates and stuff like that over and over for a game that should be running as smoothly as initially was. It's a 10-year-old game, and they're only going to keep adding more and more. This game will never function like it was supposed to function because it's running for too long and they keep adding too many things to it. So I feel like starting from fresh can be extremely annoying, but I feel like if it's just even a second option for some people so they can have a version of The Sims that is more collective and better running for their PCs or the consoles, I think it will be better. But who am I to know? I've never worked in The Sims or anything like that. So yeah, I really hope you like this, and I really hope you guys like the patch update. My welcome wagon's not working anymore, so I need to wait for mods, and I'm going to wait patiently because that's very mindful of modders and creators. I'm going to wait very patiently for them to update, but my entire software of the game is now functioning properly. My welcome wagon is not working anymore. I can't click off it. But yeah, besides that, I really like some of the updates. There's certain things I would have preferred if they also did updates for like certain couches and stuff like that, but patience is key. We're going to get more and more. I feel like if they did even more than like the 650 swatches we had, it would have been just maybe too much for the base game. So like patience is key, but I like what we did, and I'm happy that it allowed me to do this type of things that I've never done. It was always until the very end of the video, but you know, there's a first for everything. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my rambles. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, the more the merrier, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!